Hello. It's me, it's Wonder Boy here today, and we are going to be looking at some of the results from WrestleMania 41, in which I attended, and see how well I have done on my prediction video. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to watch a little bit of a clip of each kind of segment, or each match, I should say, and what my prediction was for each match. So we're going to start off with the very first match on the card, which was the opening bout. Gunther versus Jey Uso. Let's see what I had to say about that. I'm going to vote for Gunther here. I do think Jey Uso is going to win, but my vote is for Gunther. I took an L, didn't I? I took an L. Yeah. Let's just ignore that one. I did think that Gunther was going to go over, and that's purely because I wanted Gunther to go over. Of course, Jey Uso was going to win. He was so over. He's absolutely over. Everybody in the crowd was doing their yeet. I'm team no yeet. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. I'm not the biggest fan of Jey Uso. I think he's a great character, but personally, I much prefer Gunther, and especially the way the match ended. I wasn't a big fan of. I didn't like the fact that he tapped out so quickly, and I know the fact that he has tapped out before, and that was against Ilya Dragunov back in NXT. I don't know if it was NXT UK for the NXT UK champion. I think it was, and that's the only time he's ever tapped out. And I thought, and it was quick as well. But I thought with him tapping out to Jey Uso, who's not known for his submissions, I thought it was a little bit weak, a little bit of a weak decision. And personally, I would have had Gunther go over in a squash match, or have something brutal, have Jey involved, because the whole lead up was obviously to try and go, oh no, he can't do it. Jimmy involved. Oh no, Jey can't do it. And I get why they've made him win, but personally, I would have gone for Gunther. Match number 2 is the New Day defeating the War Raiders, or the Viking Raiders, or whatever you want to call them. I think they're the War Raiders at the minute. My prediction is Viking Raiders again. War Raiders, they should be on the main card. Do I think they're going to get a WrestleMania match? Probably not. So, yeah, I didn't even think they were going to be on the card. I think I filmed it about a week before flying out, or 2 weeks before flying out, just so I could get the content out and my predictions. So some of the predictions here, I actually would have tweaked before that, and I'll explain that later on, specifically one of the matches on night 1. But with this result, I didn't expect them to be on the card, to be honest with you, just with the way that Mania was shaping up. I would have preferred the tag team ladder match on for Montez Ford, Motor City Machine Guns, and DIY. That would have been a much better match in my opinion. There was no build up to this match at all, providing that I've filmed it 2 weeks prior. Literally 2 weeks to go, okay, here's a tag match. Nobody wanted it. I'm glad that New Day won. I like the New Day, especially with the heels kind of persona at the minute. I am enjoying that, but I do think they need to do a bit more with them, because the tag team division is lacking a little bit, both on SmackDown and Raw, but I think SmackDown's killing it a little bit more. Anyways, the next prediction is, the next match is Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Here is my prediction. Yeah, my prediction's going on Jade Cargill for this one. And I was correct. I got my first one right on the card. I did think Jade Cargill was going to win at this WrestleMania. Now, with the build-up of, obviously, her getting attacked by Naomi, with the whole thing, obviously, leading up to the Elimination Chamber, and then going on beyond that, I think it's been a great bit of storytelling. And to be honest with you, in terms of the story itself, it's probably been one of the stronger ones on the card. And I'm really happy that Jade went over. The match had some really cool spots, some really cool moments, and if you haven't watched it already, I'd recommend go watching it. Next one is, we have Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight. Yeah, let's see what my prediction was for this match. I'm going Jacob Fatu. I was correct again. Back-to-back dubs in the chat, cuz I predicted Jacob Fatu, and I had a feeling Jacob would win. But I did also mention in the video that I think something could happen with Solo, and now this didn't happen, which is absolutely fine. And I thought the match was actually brilliant. There were some great spots in the match. I forgot the name of his finisher, LA Knight's finisher from a moonsault from Jacob Fatu. Absolutely incredible. And I think Fatu deserves it. I think he's absolutely earned his stripes the last kind of couple of months since he's debuted. He deserves a title shot. I do think Solo deserves a title shot at some point soon, and it'll be great to get them in a match. I don't think Solo should be winning the US title off Fatu, but maybe we can do like a prediction video of where I think these titles are going to go down the line in another video. But that's 2 out of 4 so far. So let's see what the next prediction is, which is El Grande Americano versus Rey Fenix. Let's see what my prediction was. My opinion, though, I do think Chad Gable's going to win. El Grande Americano. So I did predict this one right. So that's 3 dubs in a row. However, it wasn't against Rey Mysterio because he got injured the night before on SmackDown, and he's replaced by Rey Fenix, which I'm absolutely all for. I absolutely love Rey Fenix. I think he's such a great competitor, and I think if you were going to replace a Rey Mysterio, it would have to be a Rey Fenix, and I'm so glad that he got his WrestleMania moment. His entrance was amazing, where he shouted out his family. I did have to rewatch a little bit back after I came back home from WrestleMania just to kind of experience it a little bit. I still haven't watched all of it back yet, by the way. I'm getting to it. But I thought he was brilliant in the ring. The 450 senton that El Grande did was absolutely incredible. I got it right. That's 3 in the chat. 3 in the chat. 3 in a row. Dubs in the chat. That's 3. 3 for Wonder Boy. 3 for dubs. So we are going to go on to the next match, which is Tiffany versus Charlotte. Let's see what my prediction was for this one. So I'm going to go for Tiffany Stratton for a win. I think Charlotte's going to win, but I'm going to vote for Tiffany. We'll go for Tiff. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 dubs in the chat. We are 4 in a row. Yes, I predicted Tiffany to win the match. Now, I'm glad that she did win. I think she absolutely deserves it. I think Charlotte winning the Rumble was unnecessary, and I think I mentioned that in the prediction video. But it was an okay match. It was an okay match. I think there was probably a little bit of real heat between both of the competitors, and you can kind of see that in the match. I did like the greatness of the match. I've got no complaints. I think that could have been a little bit more to it, but I enjoyed it. I think the highlight of the match was definitely Tiffany's entrance. The Barbie doll entrance was absolutely amazing. I loved it so much, and probably was the best entrance of WrestleMania, to be honest with you. But final match of the night was Seth Rollins versus CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. Let's see what I predicted. I think Punk's going to go over the win, and I think he's going to pin Seth. So, yeah, about that. I predicted Punk was going to win in the video. However, and unfortunately, I will give myself the L on this one. During WrestleMania weekend, so I was chatting to my friends the week prior, so this is a week after filming the original prediction video, I predicted that Seth Rollins was going to win because of how they've been portraying him on Raw each week. Obviously he's looked like the weakest. The story's been so focused on Roman and Punk. I genuinely thought Seth wasn't going to win up until kind of last week when I was like, ooh, maybe they're not going to give CM Punk his flowers. They're going to give it to Seth, and he absolutely deserved it. Last year's WrestleMania's MVP was Seth Rollins, and I absolutely think he's deserved it. So well done to Seth Rollins. The ending of the match was okay. It was probably one of the matches of the night as well. I thought the match was incredible. But that concludes night 1. Let's see how I did on night 2. First prediction of night 2. The match opening one was Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair. Let's see what I predicted for this. I'd like, personally, for Rhea to win, but I think Io's going to retain. First up of the night. Of course, it was Io Sky. What did I say? She's been built up this whole time to look very weak, and then, boom, gets the pin, gets the dub. So I'm really happy that she won. Personally, I think I mentioned in the video as well, I would have loved Rhea Ripley to win just because I love Rhea Ripley, but I think Io Sky absolutely deserved it. It was nice to see her get her win. The match was probably match of the weekend. Next up, we have Drew versus Damian Priest. Now, I predicted, my opinion, I think Drew has to win. I really think he deserves a win at WrestleMania. Yep, you're right. It was Drew McIntyre. I had to go for my man Drew McIntyre for the win, and I'm so glad he did. He absolutely deserved it after getting absolutely mullered at last year's WrestleMania, and I'm so glad he finally got his win that he absolutely deserves. Unfortunately, it wasn't for a title, but he got his revenge on Damian Priest. Now, it's going to be really interesting to see where they take Drew McIntyre in terms of a storyline. There is rumors of him going for one of the titles. I'd love him to go for the World Heavyweight title, take it off of Jey Uso, and hold that title because he absolutely deserves it. Next match on the card is Dominic Mysterio versus Penta versus Bron Breakker versus Finn Balor. Let's see what I said about my predictions for the match. My prediction is going to be Dominic Mysterio for this one. I'm just too good at this, aren't I? Another dub. Of course it was going to be Dominic Mysterio. So Dominic got the win, and I predicted it. Now, I think he absolutely deserves it. As I mentioned, throughout the whole storyline, he was the only one to not get the pin fall between the competitors, and he got his pinfall, and it was on Finn Balor as well, which I think is going to lead into a storyline for the IC title for Finn Balor, because I know on Raw, I believe it was. Yeah, it was Raw. I was literally there. He kept eyeing up the IC title, and he was looking all like, oh yeah, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Nah, he's going for that title. He's going for it. I don't want him to win, because I'm a big fan of Finn Balor. I don't want him to go for that. He should be personally going for the World Heavyweight. Not right now, but in the future, they need to build him up a little bit. Next up on the predictions is Randy Orton. Let's see what I predicted for Randy Orton's opponent. I don't know. My guess is going to be Rusev. I'll guess Rusev. I guessed Rusev, and I was wrong. However, he did return the night after on Raw, so I did get his return predicted, because there was obviously rumours of him coming back, but I got the opponent wrong. It was in fact, say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. I was honestly, I think that was the most ecstatic I was throughout the whole night. Like, there was a few moments where I got goosebumps, and I got insane goosebumps being there. It was unbelievable. I was so happy, and I was so proud to see Joe Hendry at WrestleMania. He's deserved it. I've watched him for a very long time, from back in the What Culture days when I used to go watch What Culture. I used to do YouTube videos on What Culture Pro Wrestling, and around that time Joe Hendry was the big star, and I absolutely loved watching Joe Hendry. His matches against Kurt Angle and Cody Rhodes in WCPW, they were just amazing, and it's been great to see his appearance at the Royal Rumble as well as WrestleMania. The next match on the card is Logan Paul versus AJ Styles. Now, I predicted, I'm going to go with AJ to win. It'd be nice to see AJ win, because Logan Paul doesn't take a lot of losses. I predicted it wrong. I guessed AJ Styles would win because of the whole Karrion Kross story. I think at the time I didn't mention that, but they were obviously building up Karrion Kross, saying, oh, you're a real wrestler and he's a influencer YouTube star. If you're going to get beat, don't get beat by a YouTube star. And I completely agreed with him. I really did want like Logan Paul to get beat, take a loss for once. Unfortunately, he didn't. The match was okay. It wasn't as much of a spot fest as I can't speak. It wasn't as much of a spot fest as I was expecting, but it was enjoyable. Karrion Kross got involved, and it was great seeing Karrion Kross at WrestleMania, because the reception he got when he came out was amazing, and he's going to go somewhere. I've been a big fan of his for a little while now, and I'm so glad that he's finally getting his flowers, especially the promo he did after WrestleMania. Unbelievable. Great promo. But less about Karrion Kross, more about the match. I got this one wrong, unfortunately, and we'll move on to the next match. The next match was Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Now, this is my prediction. It is going to be Kaden Carter and Katana Chance, or Piper Niven and Kaylee Ray. I think something interesting is going to happen during this match, where they're going to win, but Bayley is going to turn on Lyra, and that's going to lead into a match at WrestleMania, which I think would make the most sense, providing that she's the Intercontinental Champion, and it would be great for her to defend it on WrestleMania. I think Liv and Raquel are going to retain. I don't see any of these teams beating them just yet. Yeah, I got that very wrong. I predicted that it was going to be Lyra. I thought it was going to be Lyra and Bayley at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental title, which it should have been, especially after the result, because they ended up winning against Liv and Raquel, which is fine, I guess. But then they lost it the next night to Liv and Raquel, which I guess you giving Becky Lynch a Hulk Hogan style win, the Hulkamania runs wild with Becky Lynch in this WrestleMania moment, but I personally would have had Liv and Raquel win. It didn't make sense really to lose the title besides the turn the next night, but they should have had it should have been Bayley. It should have been Bayley. I really don't know why they took her out. It was literally just to give Becky Lynch her return, and it should have been Bayley. Bayley should have been the one to turn on Lyra, and it should have been during that tag team match to set up the Intercontinental title, and then giving someone else the opportunity to try and win the titles and give them the WrestleMania moment, rather than just giving Becky Lynch the Mania moment, because it's just Becky Lynch. It's just, for me, I would have rather Bailey personally. I think she deserves it more. I really do. Is what it is. I'll take the L on that one. Absolutely fine with that one. The final match, though, on my prediction is John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. Let's see how I did on this one. My prediction for this, I'm going to have to say Cena. Of course, I got it right. I did get the number wrong. I don't know why I said 15. It was the 17th title that he was going to win, and he won it. I was buzzing. I was so happy to see John Cena win his 17th title. He's got the record now. He's the most decorated superstar of all time now, and the match was okay. It wasn't the best thing I've ever seen. People were complaining John Cena was too slow. I think it works with his character. He's not being flashy. He's not doing his usual stuff. He's being a bit slower. He's been a bit more of a heel, and that's I enjoyed that. People were kicking off about. I enjoyed that, and it's fine. And the prediction that I got, I'm happy with it. It's a dub for me. I got dubs in the chat. So, what was the overall score that I got from my predictions? I got 8 out of 14. Now, that's not too bad, just over 50%. If I made the prediction video a week later, I probably would have got maybe 1 or 2 more extra. I don't think I did too bad. How did you do in your WrestleMania predictions, if you did one? So if you do enjoy this kind of content, if you do enjoy this style of videos, please do not hesitate to press the subscribe button or the like button. And even if you would like to, I would highly be appreciated. Share to your friends as well. But it's been a pleasure today to be able to address you with this video, and I hope you have a pleasant rest of your day. I hope you have a nice day and go enjoy it. Enjoy the sun if you've got sun where you are. Go watch WrestleMania 41 if you haven't on Netflix, and I will see you cool cats on the flip flop later. Dwayne, please show up at WrestleMania, please. If Dwayne The Rock Johnson shows up at WrestleMania 41, I will have Dwayne The Rock Johnson in the background of my YouTube videos